Morning, folks. Anybody tuning in on the juice here this morning? Happy to have Brody in their pocket. It's good to be here. It's going to round up the chat a little bit here for you folks. See what we can see. Michael Superbacker's in the house. Glad to have you with us today, and we're glad to be along with you. Morning, Michael Superbacker. How are you doing today? Got a question for you here this morning. What superhero brings the morning newspaper? Newspaper man. But you've come to the right place. You've got some exquisite taste. And might I remind you today, we've got no time to waste. It's the morning show with Brody. Happy to have you here. Michael Superbacker says we've got some snow. We got some snow. That's a 4-letter word, my friend. You know it is. Got some snow yesterday. Nothing major, but more than having no snow. Yeah, we know the feeling up here in the Great White North. How you doing today, my friend? My friends? A Magic Gathering, who love the game as much as we do. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. We're up in our seats. It's January 17. We got our dual brain shirt on. How was your Martin Luther King Day? Did you have a good one? I hope you really did. Cup of coffee in the mug today. Feels all right. We just want to take a minute and center ourselves, and let's just say thanks for everybody for sharing life with us, for joining the experience here. And let's just take a minute just to settle ourselves, a minute for ourselves, because it's okay to do that. We have arrived at the show. We've got a cup of coffee. All right, here, let's go. Interesting show for you folks today. I'm happy to bring you this one. It's going to be a little bit of fun. We're going to check the Hasbro stock. Maybe we're going to check some Magic the Gathering cards. Michael says, Michael's well. It hasn't felt much like winter down here. So that was a punch in the face to remind me it's actually winter. Remind me exactly what state are you in, Michael? Just so I could kind of geographically get my wonder imagination working this morning. Uh, let's check the price of Hasbro stock. Oh no. So we've gone dark. Should check the price of Hasbro stock here this morning. There we go. Price of Hasbro stock here this morning. What? We're gonna need a trading day. Hey. Should we refresh this? Are we trading just yet? Friday. Brody, look, did Brody disappear on you? Sorry, folks. I just not sure where Brody went there for a second. Uh, do we have a trading day yesterday? I was fully expecting us to have at least a trading day. Maybe we're not open yet. Well, it's just past the hour. It's Brody. We're going to be here a little bit past the hour here this morning. Should have a good show for you lined up. Got some interesting feed on Twitter this morning. Boston, that's right. I knew that. Rich. I knew that, Michael Superbacker. I knew that you were from Boston. How could I have forgotten? Michael from Boston. I wonder, Michael have his Boston accent. He speak like he's from Boston. What's the best meal in Boston? I'd like to know. Enough. I had to clear the car off. Got 3 inches. Oh man, I must have cleared a foot yesterday. Man, I guess people are buying. Seems to be going up slowly from 64. I don't know. I think 64 to 66. I don't know if people are buying this stock. I wonder. Hey, it really makes me wonder. I think we haven't seen a whole lot of market data yet from the end of last year, including Christmas. And like with the punishment now for Dungeons and Dragons, I think like the stock just keeps getting punished. It's punished and punished again. What's the best meal in Boston? And is there? I'm gonna have to look up what's going on. I'd always wanted to go to Boston. I should get my buns to Boston. I really should. There's got to be a magic event in Boston. I'm gonna look that up in my spare time. I'd like to take a look at Roland Chang Twitter feed here. This is a pretty cool post by the boys here that were involved in the tournament over the weekend. I finally got a little bit of chatter back. Pretty cool. Oro's initiative from yesterday, 10K, felt strong and consistent. A few takeaways. Chrome Mox over Mox Diamond in Boros for less mana issues. Would have preferred Fairy Macabras in sideboard slot. So, and Plateau is not necessary. Why do I like uh here's a deck list. Why do I like these posts? Because we get to see what these folks are playing. So there was a legacy 10K, and that's like a $10,000 cash prize event, right? So like first, second, third are going to be getting prize money. And these initiative decks, I'd like to take a look at an initiative deck today with you folks. And another deck, the deck that actually took the tournament, which is pretty cool. And that was piloted by none other than, where is he? This fellow right here, David Kaplan. David Kaplan took the Star City Games tournament over the weekend, the SCG Con New Jersey 10K Legacy Champion. Here's a report on it. So a big shout out to David Kaplan. But you see, the thing that we're going to cover a little bit more on this story here today, but that's what happened over the weekend. So Monday being Monday and all things being Monday, like I never I never had exactly any many details on the event and the winners and the deck lists that they were playing, but I do now. And I got a little something for you folks to share on the channel here today. We're gonna have a little sip of coffee. That was actually seems to be a little bit of fun. For anybody who's tuning in,
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
all right, let's check out a couple of AI generated magic cards and warm up here this morning. It's got a couple of inches, 3 inches of snow in Boston. We got about, I'll have to go outside yesterday and take a look. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't, I haven't shoveled the porch yet. So let me get back to you on that. We've been having a dump of snow, that is. Okay, we'll check out some AI generated magic cards here for you, and we got some viewers in the chat. So good morning to all you folks today. Check this one out. Sue Agersaven. Sue Agersaven is a red and 2. It's a 3/1. Sliver creatures you control have hexproof. Wow, that's great. For a red and 1, Sue Agersaven gets +2/0 until end of turn. Man, this seems like actually a magic card. Like you could play this, right? Seems balanced. 3/1 for 3. It's a Plains Island Horf. Wow. Artifact creature Plains Island Horf. Do you know what a Horf is? I don't. Well, I think we got to give this guy like a simply stable. We got to give this like a pass, I think. I mean, it seems like a. What do you think, folks? This one's definitely playable. It seems like we got to give it a pass. Brings us to a little plains. What's that, Michael? Does the snow melt in Canada? Where do you put it all? Well, that's another thing too. I'm running out of places to put it. It gets piled up, and then you pile it up some more, and then you push it back, and then it melts a bit, and then it gets hard to push. So you got to kind of start off. We're gonna. That's great. Yeah. So you kind of got to start off with the pile in a place that it's going to end up, like when spring breakup happens. So you kind of, yeah, you kind of got to put it where you want it to begin with, because once it ices up, you can't really move it anymore. So you got to start a pile, and you got to put the pile far enough away so that when you're shoveling the snow, it's far enough to be inconvenient to walk, but and then you just keep piling it up until it's all gone. And right now, that's the thing where, like, when you get a good puff of snow, you kind of run out of places to put all put all the scoops. It's nice when it melts right away, but then you get some ice. Ice, ice, baby. What's the best meal in Boston, and when's the next Magic event? I gotta look that up. Boston MTG. All right, stock death. Check out this planes. This is an AI generated. We're checking out some AI generated Magic cards here. I think this card is the beauty of a planes. We've got Nimbus Cry-Kival. Nimbus Cry-Kival sorcery. 1 green, 3 mana. Choose one. Target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. It's got the same thing on it 3 times. Dual Brains in the house. It's Tuesday. We're sporting, we're sporting the Dual Brain shirt here today. Of course, it's Tuesday. It's January 16th. How you doing today, Mr. Ed? Nice to have you with us. We're checking out this AI generated Magic cards, and like we have some reportables. So mates in New Jersey going the stats, go deck list, everything. We're checking. Can we give this a pass? This is kind of, other than this being silly, right? Nimbus Cry-Kival. A green and 3. Choose one. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand 3 times. Just pimping by to say hi. What's up? Popping by to say hi. Dual Brain. Let's check this out. I kind of got to give it a pass, except the fact it's 4 mana. It seems like a bit much to cast this, but sure, why not? Brings us to this card here, Otherworldly Enkadudzoa. Otherworldly Enkadudzoa. All right, legendary creature, Elf Shaman. Wow. The art on it is kind of hard to see. It's almost like one of those things you got to look like a Rorschach test or something. And you got to like look deep into the art of this elf card, I guess. I can't hardly tell you, but it's a Boros card. What's up, Ed? Can't wait for Philly. Good 1 month. Doing good. Police reports following the car entry and whatnot. They hit a few blocks in the area. That's good you report it, right? Holy smokes. Multiple police reports. You may get some coverage in that area. Back in the blue. We're checking out these AI generated Magic cards. We've got Otherworldly Enkadudzoa. A white, a red, and 2 mana. I gotta this got a lot of tests on it. A 7/9. A 7/9. Look at this. Michael Superbacker says in Boston, there's lots of great restaurants. North End has a great Italian food, also great seafood, burgers, and steaks. Work early. Oh yeah. Okay, so we gotta find an event in Boston. I want to go check it out. I really do. I gotta make my way to Boston. It's a fact. It's a place I've always wanted to go. Catch a baseball game. Okay, as long as let's check this card here. As long as you control another goblin, put what counter is that? Put percentage counter on Otherworldly Enkadudzoa. Okay, as long as you control another goblin, it's an elf shaman. All right, let's remind ourselves here before we start on this bizarre card. Elf shaman 7/9. As long as you control another goblin, put a percentage counter on Otherworldly Enkadudzoa. Whenever a creature dealt damage by Otherworldly Enkadudzoa this turn, with the greatest power among creatures you control, destroy that creature. This is okay. When Otherworldly Enkadudzoa becomes the target of a spell, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Spend only white mana on X. Okay. I guess if it has X in its casting cost, you only spend white mana on it. Otherworldly Enka Dudzua attacks each opponent, sacrifices a creature. Oh, okay. Tom Mitchell. And whenever another spirit enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +1/0 until end of turn. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. All right. No problem here. Nothing to see here. Wow. Tom Mitchell says there is no reprint problem. Everything is fine. Nothing to see here. If you go to Boston, let me know. I'm only a couple hours away. Dual Brain says Force of Will buy list on CK has gone down from 70 to $58. Wow. Riley, congrats to that's wild, man. Force of Will buy list? What do you think of this card? Otherworldly Enka Dudzua. It's a 7/9 elf shaman. As long as you control another goblin, you put a percentage counter on it. Okay, that's great. I don't know what the percentage counter does, so not winning there. Whenever creature dealt damage by Otherworldly Kedzua this turn with the greatest power among creatures you control, destroy that creature. It doesn't make much sense, but it's super situational. When it becomes the target of a spell, this creature gets 2/0 until end of turn. And spend only white mana on X. Tom, I'm doing all right. What do you want to do for the movers and the shakers today, Tom? It's Tuesday. I gotta give this card, like, let's give this a fail. Are we gonna give this a pass or a fail? I kind of want to give it a fail. We can move on to the next card. I mean, I guess functionally it's a 7/9. The percentage counter doesn't work. When it's dealt, yeah, it does. Oh, it's getting a fail. It's getting a fail. Sorry. No name, no cost. All right. Let's check in the Hasbro stock here this morning. Got a little bit of news from SCG Con, New Jersey. Let's check out. Let's check out a little news from SCG Con, New Jersey. Roland and a couple of the folks there, the winners and the deck list from SCG Con, which is pretty cool. David Kaplan taking the SCG Con New Jersey 10K Legacy event, and we got a report on it. It's not what you'd think, though. Like this, I was trying to get this information to you yesterday because I love looking at these older deck, older format 10Ks and 20K events. Simply look at this trade. Here's a deal. Here's a deal. Dual Brain. This was this is an insane deal. It's an older post, though. That's from last year. Roland Chang got his. So we've seen Initiative, White Initiative, comments on the Boros Initiative deck from yesterday at the 10K. Feeling strong and a few takeaways. Reading those here. Chrome Mox over Mox Diamond. Would have preferred Force or Fairy Macabres in the sideboard, and Plateau is not necessary. So a lot of people playing Initiative. And then one of the pretty cool comment from Roland, he said that everybody was surprised who went up against David Kaplan, who was playing not Initiative. David Kaplan was actually playing Delver, if you can believe it or not. So I think he went 5-0 against Initiative in day one. And just anybody who had hopes and dreams of doing well with Initiative on day one had it crushed. Morning, Benson. Benson's in the house. I gotta build myself another coffee. Holy smokes, we're checking out the results from Star City Games Con Legacy 10K event. Benson, thanks for taking us with you on your journey here today. We're going to get to some Magic stocks, but I like the gameplay of these older formats because it tells me a little bit. It makes things make a little bit more sense when you look at the card prices. So I like to check a little bit about paper play magic and these old school events like Legacy and Vintage, and see what decks are like making waves. And we're going to take a look at a couple of deck lists here today. We took a look at Roland Chang's initiative deck. Roland did okay, but David Kaplan came out on top. Morning, Murray Cooper. Happy to. Hey. Murray Cooper's in the house. We're gonna build ourselves a coffee here this morning. Thanks for sharing life with me, folks. I really appreciate you taking the time to check in a little bit of morning magic stocks, and right now a little bit of magic talks here this morning. Hit the Brodyfication bell. Get all the Brodyfications when we're online. So David Kaplan, a little note from David, the winner. Very happy to be the Star City Games Con New Jersey Legacy 10K champion. Sometimes large events go really slow. This one went fast. 11 rounds in one day is a lot. This report will focus on the community and mental aspect of the game. This is a report, full report here. What a gentleman from David Kaplan. Big shout out to the community organizers. Roland Chang has spent countless hours developing personal relationships with new legacy players, old ones returning from extended time off, tournament organizers, and shop owners to glue together a tight knit community. He is the first to welcome and last to help broker a deal for your first piece of vintage power. Cannot thank Roland enough for everything he has done. So, special thanks to Roland. You know, as a guy who just reached out to him, and I mentioned that we would be doing coverage on the show. I like to let's shout out to Roland Chang and cover this legacy 10K event here a little bit from over the weekend. I like to watch these legacy decks because, like, initiative, I want to study this initiative deck that Roland's playing because I like the initiative. It's a new mechanic, so I want to let's take the initiative and see if we can learn a little bit about that and how that might change formats and push the prices of some cards. Shout out to Chris Benucci of 90s MTG. You can see here. You can see. We can see that he's wearing the David Kaplan's wearing the 90s MTG shirt. So he's given a shout out to Chris Benucci, using his expertise in photography and passion for legacy to build the 90s MTG community. Started recording matches on Game Storia, the LGS in New York City, streaming them on Twitch. Commentary style is competitive enough that the grinders get strategic insight from the matches of some of the best legacy players and casual players that some new to the format can enjoy the stream and have a good time. When in-store play was shut down in 2020, Chris created a setup where two players had webcams at home and live streamed the match. He kept Paper Legacy going in our community and around the world. Thank you, Chris. Hugely important, and a shout out to Chris Benucci and the folks at Stronghold Games in the Lower Mainland. They sort of did the same thing. So it's folks like this who get to organizing that really help bring people together. Kevin, but I digress. Kevin Anron's Game Storia. New York City, there are weekly casual legacy events on Monday. So New York, if you ever go to New York City, there's weekly casual legacy events Monday nights at 7 p.m., monthly competitive Saturday night at 12 p.m. It's very hard to dedicate tabletop space in New York City given rent. And Game Storia caters to the legacy community. It's a very welcoming store. Hope to see you at the next event. And a shout out to Anurag Das. taken the initiative to stream live content at large eternal events independently with support from the community, as most organizers no longer offer coverage. Thank you. Shout out to Bob Hang for his Delver guide and advice shared. The guide is well worth the value. Details available on his Twitter. Okay, so the Delver deck is what took first place. Like, let's get to it. Congratulations to Greg Berlinroot. We were able to draw into the top 8. He's been riding high on his version of Reanimator for a long time. There are too many friends and competitors in Legacy community that have been instrumental to the growth and success of the player. Hank Zone, David Tao, John Lee have become close playtest partners. So many more have helped me for this tournament. In terms of the mental aspect of competitive gaming, being able to enjoy a tournament without walking away with my first place is imperative. When I can congratulate my friends on their success, share a bad beat, or just dinner afterwards, the day can be great. Being able to laugh about a misplay or give my opponent credit for finding a line against me, that is valuable. I've read that a player in a multi-day tournament made 4 real decisions during all their games. Let's read that again. Found it really interesting. I've read that a player in a multi-day tournament made 4 real decisions during all their games. It is a bit of Sun Tzu, the art of war. Every battle is won before it's fought. The preparation is key. Playing a deck with draw spells and counter magic, of course, complicates that, but the idea is there. When the Delver engine is working, it feels like a well-oiled machine. The gears shift fluidly, and intuition is the key driver of decisions. Who's the beatdown? How do I win? How do I lose? Are 3 questions to be asking ourselves throughout the game that help shape direction. So here's the deck list. I find it pretty cool to see Delver back in the spotlight, and this might be even a little more interesting. Apparently, like, I was expecting to see a Painter Servant deck, and we did, but like, Painter Servant is also a deck that's back, and it's back in a new way. So we've got, now if anybody's playing Modern, there's some Modern cards in here as well, like this Dragon Rage Channeler. Let's see if we can bring it up just a little closer for anybody who's watching. We got the Delver of Secrets ×4. Dragon Rage Channeler, Murktide Region, Brazen Borrower, Chain Lightning. Okay, and we'll get more to that later. Because if you notice here, he's not playing a copy of Unholy Heat. Chain Lightning takes the spot of Unholy Heat in this deck. And there's a comment down below that we will get to. So 4 bolts, 4 days, Force of Will, Ponder, Brainstorm, Expressive Iteration, the 2 Mishra's Baubles, 2 Flooded Strand, an Island, Misty Rainforest ×2, Mystic Sanctuary, which is banned in Modern, but it's not in Legacy, Polluted Delta, Scalding Tarn, Steam Vents, Volcanic Island, Wasteland. So most baby duel. Give me a second here. Good morning, Time Capsule. Sideboard, 2 Force of Negation, 1 Hydroblast, Meltdown, 4 Pyroblast, 2 Fury, Surgical Extraction, Counterbalance, Unchained Berserker, Abrade, and Soul Guide Lantern. Chain Lightning over Unholy Heat to clear turn 1 White Plume Archon. So White Plume Archon's a card, we might see it on the movers and the shakers list. But Chain Lightning goes to the face, and it counts as a sorcery. I felt that outweighed the Unholy Heat when going 6 when Delirious. Second Borrower is a flex, and it could be Pyroblast. Or third Bauble. Fury was great. I 5-0'd my first 5-round opponents all on initiative. So each and every, like, he hit his matchups. Hardcore. David Kaplan, right? I guess that's a favorite matchup for this deck, and if you know how to run it, right? So he 5-0'd his first 5-round opponents, which were all on initiative. Abrade outperformed. Berserker was fine. It could have been Sprite Dragon or TNN. You know, I looked that up yesterday and I can't remember what it is, but it'll come to me. Blood Knight would be last of my preferences, and like this part I like. Soul Guide Lantern was a nod to Red Painter Servant and Earl. I felt good having it available. Getting Hydroblast or Counterbalance number 2 in could be worth it. At the end of the day, I won my matches by delvering people. It would not advocate cutting a fourth way. I would not advocate cutting the fourth wasteland. Okay. I do not like playing this as a purge mid-range deck. EI does drift us away. Expressive iteration does drift us away from the true tempo days of Stifle, but my playstyle is Delver Days Wasteland. Free to reach out. Cool comments for an interesting deck and a big win. Taking home some cash money at the SCG Con over the weekend. So let's see if like this deck list has anything ado about nothing. Hasbro stock. Let's give it a refresh. $66.02. Still waiting on the earnings to come out. So that'll be interesting to see. Middle of January, or middle of January, maybe early February. Middle to late January, early February. Vorpal sword going. Hey, what are we doing with the Vorpal sword? Tom Mitchell, we got the movers and shakers list here up for you folks this morning. What are we going to do? We're going to do the all list. Phyrexia, all will be one. Standard, modern, pioneer. Let's do legacy or vintage. I got to take a look here. I got to take it. Just give me a second here. Morning, Twiddler. Benson says, what's up? Tom Mitchell. How's the original Force of Will doing? Let's take a look at that. Force of Will is Force. We're talking a little bit about Force of Will here. It's gone down on the buy list on Card Kingdom. Bit of a reprint problem. Over at the table games, I saw Teen Wolf there pull a pretty epic full art foil Force of Will. People are pulling them. I know Twiddler's been looking for one of those over on the channel for the bounty. Maybe let's take a look at Rot Priest. All will be on spoiler cards. It's stupid. All will be one spoilers. We want to look at the Rot Beasts. Benson wants to look at the Rot Beasts and Tom Mitchell. Phyrexia, all will be one spoilers. We can check that out. I'm just going through a couple of the comments here. Okay, so we're going to take a look at the Phyrexia, all will be one spoilers. Let's see if we can bring some of those up. We want to find this Rot Beast and Tom Mitchell. Duval. Twiddler says, yeah, baby, Duval. Okay, let's take a look here. Popper. Coach wants to check out Popper today. Okay, we can do that. 63 packs. Oh, yeah. Almost look at the OG Force of Will. So we're going to look at this. Man, let's take a look at this. We got the Phrexiol will be one spoilers. Oh, these are all these. Oh, they keep saying these completed planeswalkers, right? And then they like look like it's a art. Yeah. Okay, where's this rot? Where are we looking here? Rot priest, hey? Where's the rot priest? I don't see it. We'll keep an eye out for it. Is it in the Phrexiol will be one spoilers? Rot priest. No. Where do I find this rot priest there, Benson? I can't seem to find it. Force of Will? We looked at this the other day. I think we were talking Force of Will last week, right? Weren't we, Tom? We were talking Force of Will and like which one to buy. I think I said I will like the Alliances one. Let's check out the original one. Can't seem to find this rot priest you're talking about, but I can find this original Force of Will. $101. All right, it's $101 right now. For the OG Force of Will. What's going on with the background here today? It's really choppy, but that's $102, hey? All right. Yeah, this would be the one that I would pick up. Want to see the most expensive one for Double Masters? Is this now the most expensive one? No, the Judge promo is still overtaking that one. Huh. Well, there's the OG Force of Will, Tom. Hey, we're gonna hit the popper list here this morning. For all the folks tuning in. Pardon the typo. Okay. Venerated Rot Priest. Brain damage from too much vacation time. Venerated Rot Priest. Well, there's like a venerated Loxodon, and I see where you're going with this. I'm gonna have to where Phyrexian Obliterator. Where are we here? Luca. Can't seem to find venerated Rot Priest. This one here. Okay, this is a spoiler with toxic. Can you guys see this? I don't know. 1 mana for a 1/2 druid, green creature. Phyrexian Druid, Toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get poison counters. Okay. When a creature you control becomes the target of a spell, target opponent gets a poison counter. What? All right, that's a card. All right. What do you think of this? I mean, the first thing I think of is go out and buy copies of Leeches, right? Because there's like only one card that removes poison counters in the whole game of Magic. So this says like every time you play this for one, it's toxic. So players dealt combat damage by this creature get poison counters. And then any creature you control becomes a target of a spell. Target opponent gets a poison counter. So Infect just got that much better. You play this on the battlefield and then you like scale up your creature, make it a 6/4. They get a poison counter. You give it, you know, some hexproof with blossoming defense, they get a poison counter. You giant growth it, you give it trample, you target it with anything, they get another poison counter. So then like now you don't have to deal 10 anymore with the creature, you can deal like one less. That's busted, right? Yeah, it's really busted. Hi. So like just that brings me to I'd say this card if you want to talk of the here's a card off Brody's bottom 10. Hey, did you guys see the bottom 10 over the weekend? Did anybody see the new bottom 10? No, one of the older previous bottom 10s had this card, Leeches. So this is a bottom 10 card. It's the only card in Magic that holy smokes, Leeches is at $11. This is the only card in Magic that actually gets rid of poison counters. Let's take a look at the chart on this card. It was on the bottom end of the reserve list. It's still quite cheap, like it is. Let's check it out. 2 white and 1. Target player loses all poison counters. Leeches deals that much damage to that player. So you take some damage, but it removes all the poison counters. Where our poisons and powders fail, perhaps nature will succeed. Yes. This is a card off the bottom 10. It's the only card that currently removes poison counters unless there's another reprinting up the sleeve. But, you know, like it's kind of like, let's take a look at this price chart here. Like it was trending east to west for the longest period of time up to January 21. And then like a boom, this is like in fact become popular or I don't really know, but must have been a very popular influx of infect decks or maybe spoilers that they were going to get this card that we're talking about, this venerated rot priest. And now it's like starting to tick up. Like this is, if you don't like, I bet you they're sold out in stores. I bet you. Let's take a look. I'm going to call it right here. They're sold out. One available at Card Kingdom. $5. Let's try and buy it. I bet you it's sold out. Is it sold out? Add to cart. Boom. All right, let's buy it. Okay, let's put it in our cart for later. I got to pick up some stuff for Dual Brain too, so maybe I'll just like throw that in the cart and take it with me. I will buy that right now. Boom. I'm sniping this copy. $5. Card Kingdom. Buy it now. You've seen it right there. I pull the trigger on this card right now. Okay. Good card. $11. It's going to go higher. Get yourself a couple leeches. I mean, they're good pets, you know. You just keep them in water. You hardly have to feed them. And like, if you run out of leech food, you can always use your hand. That's disgusting. Popper list here today. Let's have a little warm up. I'm gonna top up my cafe. Just past the hour. I'm gonna be here about half past the hour, folks. I'm happy you guys have taken me with you on your adventures here this morning. Where are you headed? Murray Cooper's in the house. Benson, Michael Superbacker, Dual Brain. Everybody's at work. You guys are turning the economy. You know, I saw a pretty interesting shorts yesterday. Shorts were good. Saw some interesting shorts. Mylera, solemnly, in fact, too. I gotta do a couple of sketches for the Dual Brain channel. Ed and I are talking just about a little bit of doing some card backs for him. So I might pick those up here this morning with this copy of Leeches if I get a chance. I'll throw it in the cart and just let me know. I think it's 17, and you just shoot me a DM. That's direct message. And I'll order those up for the project. Another dual brain production another dual brain collaboration production. That's pretty cool. If you guys like, we're doing some shirts. I got my dual brain shirt on today. You can't get that one right now, but if you join the join the Patreon, I gotta check. I think it's like after 3 months we mail you a shirt. Um, yeah, and we got some other stuff that we'll be doing, like sleeves and a few other things. So yeah, I'll put that link there and hit the brotification bell. Uh, let's check out the stock desk here, folks. We got Lotus Petal and Popper. Is it downshifted to common? It is. Oh, is it 6 months? I think after 6 months, we do shirts. You can request one. And we do some stuff for the patrons over on the channel. Thanks for joining us. Anybody who's talking Legacy, Star City Games weekend over the week and past Martin Luther King Day yesterday, and we're checking out the Lotus Petal, the Pauper list. Hey, Pauper's like a great format. I'll tell you a little story. I went to visit a local game store, Bastion Games, and there was a young fella sat down, and I think I brought a modern deck with me, and he's like, I don't have modern, but I have Pauper. And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's jam a game. And like, he kicked my butt. Very strong. And he's like, yeah, my dad was like a Pauper champion. So his dad taught him Pauper, and like, he had a very strong Pauper deck. Lotus Petal is $25 for this card. This is a time shifted version. It's really seems good. Pauper pushes card prices. Pauper pushes prices. Penny pickles. Pauper posies petals prices. Pauper's prices. Lotus Petals. $25. This thing's gonna see another reprint. It really is. It's been downshifted now to common. How many versions of it do we have? From the Vault, ooh, Exiled, expensive, $139. The Kaladesh Invention is $490. Yikes. Mystery Booster, how much is the original? Tempest, my favorite one. This one, the original one. Go with the OG, right? You can't lose. Original Tempest, $24. And so is the list copy. Deck's running it. I mean, you're gonna probably see a lot of decks running it. Check it out. East West from this one. No, we gotta change this. We gotta go to the original version of the Lotus Tempest. Let's give me some Tempest Lotus Petal. Delicious. That's the one we want. It's got the biggest price history on it, right? So if you're checking stocks yourself, like if you don't like checking Magic card prices, maybe you do. Maybe this is fun for you. Maybe like checking numbers and charts and little zigzags and making things go up and down is like for you. You can do it, but always check the price. Check to see if there's like an original version of the card with more price history. That'll give you kind of a little bit better idea of what you're looking at. So let's go back. Tabletop. This one. Make sure you're looking at tabletop. But if you don't like checking the prices of Magic cards, let me do it for you. We're doing it here weekdays at 5:15, 7:15 Eastern time, and like we go printing of Tempest. This thing was only like $4 or $5, $4 or $5 common, cheap to get your hands on. Right after our Devastation, we see like Dominaria and like a lot of Legacy player interested, especially Reanimator. And this card is a staple in Pauper as well. Strixhaven give us a little tick up in price, and now we're sitting at the $25 range. Maybe don't buy this card. It's not like I wouldn't throw this in my cart right now like I did with leeches just a minute ago. I think this here, mono white painter. So legacy, vintage, legacy, commander. So the top decks using it, 102 102 decks using it in legacy, and this is mono white initiative. Right? This is another card that's pushing it. Mono white Belcher. Anointed Peacekeeper. Elite Spellbinder. These both let you look at your opponent's hand. This one's to wait into. Okay. Where's the Solitude? There's the Solitude. So Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal. All right. But we're talking Pauper. So this is also in Pauper, but if it's good enough for Legacy and it's good enough for Vintage, it's got to definitely be good enough for Pauper. It's up a little bit. It will see a reprint eventually, but it's coming in at $25. Decent card. Oubliette. Next card up. Let's check out the Oubliette, man. Oopsie daisy. The Oubliette. All right. Let's hit the refresh button. Oubliette. Let's check it out. Oubliette. $32.72 for the Oubliette. No Brain says, I regret selling my Quad 9.5 Invention Pedal. Yikes. We can't wait. Dual Brain says we can't wait for the Brody art cards. Will be inserted into repacks I'm working on. What? Okay. I just heard. Okay, so you're doing some repacks over there, some Dual Brain repacks. That ought to be interesting. I can't wait to hear a little more about it. If you got a video coming up later today, let us know. We'll have to check that out. Maybe we can cover it in the live stream. Yeah, Dual Brains also got some of the Brody shirts. Time capsule. Oh, work sucks. Just checking up. Benson says Solemnity slows down Infect too. Yeah, Solemnity is good card. Coaches, does doubling season double poison counters? Yikes. So we're going to see this Rot Priest card and Commander. Like, we're going to have Commander, Infect Commander. And that's why, I mean, like, this Venerated Rot Priest, I'm looking at the Leeches card not just for, like, no. We're looking at it for straight up for against Commander Infect. Yeah. Oubliette. $32.72. This is a common. Okay, Arabian Nights. When it enters the battlefield, target creature phases out until it leaves the battlefield. Okay, well, that's the revised wording on it. Let's keep it a little less wordy here for everybody's pain and frustration. Because look at the text on this card. I think I actually have an original copy of this. Funny enough, but it's seen in some action here. Okay, so it phases out. Tap that creature as it phases in. What? Tap that creature as it phases in this way, or as equipment phase out with it. While permanents are phased out, they're treated as though they don't exist. So this just removes a creature from play. I don't like the wording here. Phases out, and then tap that creature as it phases in this way. I don't know. It's strange the way they word it, because if it phases out, then if it doesn't have phasing. I don't know. Commander, but Pauper. As far as removal in black, I guess this is where you're at. You're 3 mana for the Oubliette at $35 from the Arabian Nights printing. I don't think we got another version, don't we? Yeah, we had a reprint, Masters Edition. So you can run the double Masters Edition. This one, oh, creepy card. Like, this guy's really wants to get out of there. Oh, gross. Let's check it out. Gotta get that chat running. Gotta get the chat running. So Oubliette, another card making waves here on the movers and the shakers here this morning. Some expensive cards. Like, so the thing with Pauper, if you're new to Magic, Pauper's a format where like every single card in your deck has to be a common, right? And it doesn't matter if it's like the common version, if it was ever printed as a common. So, for example, a card gets upshifted from common to uncommon, or downshifted from uncommon to to. If a card gets downshifted from uncommon to common in Pauper, I think it busts the format up a little bit. It bumps it up a little bit because once it's printed in common, all versions of it are okay. Prime 406, nice nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for taking me with you this morning. Murray's got to go. Safe adventures. Murray's on to the copies of Leeches. I've been holding on to copies of Leeches forever. Good idea. I would hold on to those. Decent stock. The new Tyvar Planeswalker 1 seems like a combo piece. Let's go to Prismatic Strands. This is a card I'm not familiar with. Instant Speed. It's $2. Common from Commander 2019. Prevent all damage that sources of the color of your choice would deal this turn. It's like a fog effect that sources of the color of your choice would deal this turn. Okay, so you choose a color. Instant Speed, 1 white and 2. That seems pretty good. Flashback. Tap an untapped white creature you control. You may cast this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost and exile it. So you can just flash it back for tapping a creature? That's pretty busted. $2. Oops, sorry about that. Judgment is really expensive, but the commander one is cheap. Maybe this is a pickup. 16 $2 for the one from Judgment. I like, which art do you like better? These are both really good. I think I like the original one. I can't tell. There's a bird in the background. It's got winged creatures, winged folk. I gotta give it to the one from Judgment. Prismatic Strands. Holy smokes, this card's been taking a poke up in price. Wow. Look at the chart on this sucker. Where were we sitting at? We were like a 40-cent card not too long. Not even. Like October. This was under $1. Check it out. We're running all the way this way just until like the beginning September, October. This card's I mean I would stay away from buying this right away, but it's $2. So I mean, like, what, let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, sold out. Prismatic Strands. Interesting. A fog with flashback. Played in Pauper. Look at all the Pauper decks playing it. Coggates. Boros Bully. Orzhov Ephemerate. And Familiars. Naya the Ephemerate. And Coggates. I see the Ephemerate mechanic appear even in Modern. I think it's an interesting mechanic that spills over and is actually quite good. What's this? Let's look at the Bully deck. Oh, the most popular one is this Coggates. Boros Garrison, Seeker of the Way, Thraben Inspector with Clues, Lunarch Veteran, Dawnbringer Cleric, Seeker, Prowess, Squadron Hawk, of course, Squadron Hawk. I gotcha. We would just call that Squadron Hawk. Why would you? Okay. And there's Caw Gates. It's like freaking so many colors. Sacred Cat, Lifelinker, Dawnbringer Cleric, Squadron Hawk. Again, Guardian of the Guild pack. Squadron Hawk, a friggin' bomb and popper. Ristic Study. You know, this is a great card. I got my first Ristic Study from a box break over at Dual Brains channel. So that's pretty cool. It's near and dear. What's up? What's up? Mr. Bob, Mr. Pure MTG is in the house. How you doing? Thanks for having us along for the ride this morning. Hope you got us with you. Bob says, I've been thinking a lot lately about whether to sell or keep cards. I'm not sure where I'm at with it. Perhaps sell any rares I have more than 4 of. Well, as a rule, you got to have your own little boundaries, you know? Like you got to say, like we've all had the regret, right? We've all had the, oh, I shouldn't have sold that. So I only try to part with cards that are modern or reprintable, like you know, something that's going to see a reprint or could see a reprint, and nothing older or black bordered. But yeah, we could check some. We're just checking the price lists here for you folks today. If you don't like checking these charts yourself and seeing what's moving, if you see something spiking, maybe that's time to throw it in a buy list, right?
Buy low, sell high, that's my motto. I may just quit my job at the power plant and become a full-time stock market guy.
Checking the prices here. When something goes up, like I do like to check these charts and you check the hot list. Like one thing I like over at Face to Face, they've got like a hot buy list. So they have this buy list, hot list that comes out every month, and they usually give you a little bit extra. But Card Kingdom seems to be giving a pretty good premium on trades, even so much. Let's check out this Ristic Study. Here's a common card. This was printed in common. Can you believe it? It's been printed a bunch of times. Prophecy card. Yes, we opened some prophecy at the Dual Brain channel. We did a little prophecy break. It was really cool. Got myself a Ristic Study. Let's go to the original. How much is that one? It's got to be roughly the same. Yep, 40 buck. 40 buck for this one. We're probably going to have the longest chart, so we'll take that one. Going back, pretty stable card, you know. Definitely going to get hit with another reprint at some time around Strixhaven, around 60 bucks. But again, this is like, if you didn't know this, this is touted as one of the most annoying cards in Magic because it makes everybody pays tax. Did you want to track the price? Did you want to pay the one? Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. 3 mana for the Ristic Study. Jeez. 3 mana. All the card draw you can handle. Here's a card from Mercadian Mass, Snuff Out. This is a card I would pick up anyway. And if I want to see the foil version, this one's $9.53. It's up 2%. Let's check out Snuff Out. Mercadian Mass. Let's see the foil. We want to see the foil. Oh. Foil, $145 if you can find it. Oh gosh, is there any available? It seems like such a cool card. These Mercadian Mass foils, there's 3 here for 100 bucks. Well, let's go back. I digress. Brody got too distracted by the shiny thing. 10 bucks. Okay. But these foils in Mercadian Mass, I tell you, the sealed product in Mercadian Mass is so nice. Foils were rare and they're done really well. If you control a swamp, this is an alternate. This is like, goes right up there with Unmask and Force of Will, Bounty of the Hunt, and any of the alternate casting cost spells. Instant speed. If you control a swamp, you can pay 4 life rather than pay this spell's mana cost. So just pay 4, right? Destroy target non-black creature. So it's removal at instant speed with an alternate cost. It's good. It's also printed in common, so it's $9.53. And if you're new to Magic, the common foil version of this in Mercadian Mass is $140. You can buy it for $100. So keep your eye out for these Mercadian Mass foils, especially these ones with the alternate casting costs. You may have some gold in your collection and not know it. Moving east to west from January 18th, halfway through, and then a little bump up in price. This is a great card. If you could just go back in time, have just one little crystal ball, look at the chart, right? You would see these Mercadian Mass foils are underpriced. Or rather, have been underpriced for a long time. Starting to see some real appreciation for these alternate casting cost cards. I like it. Sunscape Familiar. This is coming in number 6 off the top of the movers and the shakers list today. It's a card I'm not familiar with, but let's check it out. Walls. It's a defender. Okay, green spells and blue spells you cast cost 1 less. Cool. $2 from Plane Shift. The foil's $20. It's a wall. It dies to bolt. It makes your spells cost a little bit less. All right. Seems okay. Real bump up in price right before Guilds of Ravnica, hey? 20 cents all the way up to $4. It seemed to retrace. I don't think. Can this see a reprint? I think it could, but why would it? It's not that good. But it is common, and it draws some attention in Pauper. Deck's using it. Arcades the strategist. Of course it is. There's like 46 Arcades decks building it, right? Everybody wants to build Arcades strategist, and this card, the Sunscape Familiar, it definitely fills the color slot, making your blue spells and green spells cost 1 less. Familiars, and it's in Familiars. Are you familiar with this card? $50 for a Magic deck, right? Fun. Like, this is pretty fun. All the familiars. Muldrifter, not a familiar. Archaeomancer, not a familiar. Where's the familiars? I don't see them. Duped again. Darn it. Morning, folks. I'm going to be here on just for another few minutes here. Covering the movers and the shakers list in Pauper for you folks today. Happy to have you all here. Does coffee help you out in the morning? Does it make you confident? It's time for morning magic coffee and morning magic stocks with Brody. Do you like checking the prices of cards? Does it bore you? Let me do it for you. Galvanic Blast. Oh, I've lost to this card too many bloody times. It's $2 so many times in playing against Modern Affinity when that was a deck. Jeez Louise, this card just hits you where it hurts. It's 1 red. It deals 2 damage to any target, and if you have a Metalcraft, it's 4. Like, that's so much reach on burn. If double Galvanic Blast, that's 8 life. That's a lot. So they only have to get you to 12, and then you sit at like 8, and you think you're good, but you're not. You're not. Bob says, I'm not really excited about Pyro 9, etc. No use for me and no emotional attachment. That's fine. No, you could be stoic. You could be stoic to the Power 9. The problem with that is when I want a card or sealed, I simply buy them. I think it's good to keep turning over your collection and like certain parts of it, like the bottom end of the collection. It's good to turn it over and put it into some other cards. It gets you into some other formats. It the cards, yeah, you got to play what you like, right? Beetleback Chief. Here's an interesting card, a Goblin Warrior. Why not? You totally got to play goblins in. It's in a common here now, but it's got to have been printed at least at common at one point in time. Let's check it out. 77 cents. When Beetleback Chief enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1 goblin creature tokens. So yeah, in an ephemerate deck, if you're making this thing, holy smokes, this is good, right? This is really good. If you're bouncing this thing or blinking it in goblins, I don't know what. I don't know. Do you do that? Or do you just play it? Commander, Zadahedron, Grinder, Grenzo, Perforos. I think Perforos would be good. Don't you get ETBs for the creatures entering? Seems pretty good. As long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Perforos isn't a creature. Another creature enters the battlefield under your control. Perforos deals 2 damage to each opponent. Yeah. So that's like the impact tremors. So you get 3 triggers with this guy. That's really good with Perforos. So 6 damage for 4 mana and 3 creatures. Beetleback Chief. Pyroblast. This is a cool card. Now, if you're new to Magic, let's discuss Pyroblast. It's 1 mana. It's common. It says, choose one. Counter target spell if it's blue. And then it says, destroy target permanent if it's blue. Now, I want to put this next to another card just for you folks today. Red Elemental Blast. All right. This one says 1 mana, choose one, counter target blue spell, and destroy target blue permanent. These cards are different. They are different because one says counter target spell if it's blue, and the other one says counter target blue spell. One of these you can target. One of these you cannot. One of these you can miss target. The other one you cannot. This one you can cast it against something that's against something that's blue and it'll actually fizzle. Whereas this one, no, it's the other way around. One of these you can actually cast it at a blue target, except it'll fizzle because it'll check if the target is blue. The other one you can't target it because it makes anything blue an illegal target. I guess that's the difference, right? Also as a common. So if you want 2 copies of this card, you can run the red Elemental Blast or the blue Elemental Blast. Just understand that there is a slight difference between the 2 of them. Card that's going to see reprinting again and again. Is it $4 for this version of it? No way. $4 for the Ice Age version? $5. Unreal. $5 for an Ice Age uncommon. No, common. That's awesome. All day long from Card Kingdom. Yeah, they'll sell you commons from Ice Age for $5. Wow. Brody's got to go through the common section. So you're like talking about buy listing, right? Bob's like, hey, I got to buy list some cards. I'm thinking of selling some cards. Like, I don't know, thumb through the commons section and like in the bulk. Like, there's if you got more than a playset of these old Ice Age commons that I mean, $5 a piece. That's that starts to add up. Throw in a couple of overpriced standard cards and that you might not need, or a modern card that's going to see a reprint. You're like on your way to something special. And like these Magic card prices are going to keep going down for a while. Give it 3 to 6 months. The bottom's not in yet. Now's a good time. If they'll give you buy list credit, take it. 30% on top of that. And then like we're waiting for the super high end sales to happen. And then we're going to pick up any cards that we're looking for, including cards of the bottom 10 and the reserve list. And we're going to do it. And we're going to pick them up on discount. Great Furnace, Artifact Land. You know why this card's going up? I think it's going up because friggin' painter servant is going to be a thing again. It is. Is this banned? And no, it's good to go in Legacy and Vintage and Commander. So like I think these artifact lands, painter servant's a deck that's been sleeping. It's been sleeping, and now there's like new versions of the painter servant deck. There is. I'm really stoked to see it. I got actually one in the chamber for you folks here. I'm going to share it with you tomorrow. Maybe I'll share it with you tomorrow. But these great furnace, these artifact lands, unless they see a reprint, very soon, they are expensive. But it's worth picking up some of the cheaper versions of them because I think they're going to be very useful. I really do. More useful than they're getting credit for at $2 or $3. Pauper in Burn, they trigger affinity. You can use them for sacrificing to an artifact, and there's a lot of uses for these artifact lands. I wouldn't pay more than a couple of dollars for them, or maybe you can get them on trade. Checking the stock desk for you folks here today. Oh, I hear that. My time is up. Holy folks, where does it go? I appreciate you guys spending your day together this morning here. We're holding on to copies. I gotta check out Murray Cooper says. I've been holding on to my copies. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, sharing life with me here this morning. Smooth adventures wherever you may go. Appreciate checking out the channel, looking at some of the Star City Games coverage, SCG New Jersey over the weekend, Hasbro stock price, and the movers and shakers list here this morning. Wherever you are, keep your head on a swivel. I got my dual brain shirt on. Let's check out what's going over there. We appreciate you folks, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning. We're going to hit a little bit of morning magic stocks again, and a few more magic talks. Buy listing is fun. Coach says, I think you'd have fun doing a buy list and getting some cards you want, or keeping store credit to buy cards here and there. Prime is in the house. Every single morning I get hit by a bicycle. It's a vicious cycle. What do bakers say when they wake up in the morning? Time to get bready now. Mom told me it was really foggy this morning, but I must have missed it. Do they serve for breakfast here in the North Pole? Snowflakes.